Thinking of our buildings, we've recently been reminded that it is 30 years since very significant renovations happened in our St George's Church building. Here are some of our congregation members to reflect on this time.
Hello, I'm Angie.
And I'm Phil. And 34 years ago today, we got married. And for all of that time, we've been coming to St George's Church.
Our son William turned 30 last month, and for reasons that will become clear, we realised that it's also 30 years since the completion of a major refurbishment project at St George's Church building.
We came to St George's for the first time the week after we were married. And David Hawkins, the vicar at the time, announced that the heating was broken, the roof was unsound, and that we would have to move out of the building.
So St George's congregation went into exile, and we spent the next few years worshipping in various different places, including a school and also what became the Halo nightclub just by the university. Eventually we returned to the church to clean up after the builders left on the 22nd of August 1990.
My first impression going into the building was how open and light it was. The balconies that had run down both sides of the church across the windows had gone, and much of the dark wood furniture and fittings had been replaced by the lighter wood that we see today.
So we set to with other members of the congregation and we cleaned the church ready to reopen. I distinctly remember cleaning the vestry windows and the large glass doors at the entrance of the church. The very next morning, William was born, which is why we remember that it's 30 years this year.
My name is Elsie, and I've been a member of St George's for about 45 years. And so I do remember the time when we moved from St George's while it was being renovated. And I remember the first time we went into St Michael's School, it just seemed very strange. It was so different from the church building. And yet looking around, it was full of St George's people. And there was a sense of, we're all in this together. We're on a journey and we're all on this together. And a sense that God was with us. And there was a sort of a sense of freedom as well. Freedom because worship seemed different as well. It was just really quite exciting. And then sometime later, we actually continued on our exodus and went to St David's Church. And one day, while we're there was actually an open day in the St George's building when all the interior had been stripped away. And so we went and had a look around. And I was just amazed to see this huge, vast, dusty, empty space and trying to envisage what it would be like when it was completed and we were all back. And then, of course, when we did go back, it was just such a joyful occasion. And it was just wonderful to be there and to know that God had been with us through this exodus and had brought us back to St George's.
Now we're in exile again in a different way. And what has struck me is that we've been taught yet again that the church is not a building, but a family. And the time in exile is a time of learning when we focus on our God as being faithful and constant, no matter what change and uncertainty surround us.
It's been fantastic to see how the church has met the vision of 30 years ago, one of being a multi-purpose building which adapts to so many uses for so many people. And it's been particularly poignant that during this time of exile, it's become a place of refuge for the Lighthouse community.
So our prayer on this 30th anniversary is that this vision will continue for another 30 years and beyond.